Good morning, folks. Welcome back to Mark Kelly Farm. It's Saturday morning, and my honey's home because it's the weekend, and I'm going to make her a treat. We are going to have steak fingers and gravy. And if you've never had that, it is phenomenal. And I'm going to show you how to make them. What I got here is a little bit of cube steak that we cut up into strips. I got my breading station ready to go. I stirred up a couple eggs. Use right out a cup of flour and put in a tablespoon of whatever seasoning you like a steak seasoning or something like that. This is my favorite. Been my favorite for lots of years. Pappy's original seasoning. They make several versions of this. They make a low salt version too, but I hate that stuff. Always use the original with the red cap. But a tablespoon of that in your flour. We got the skillet getting ready. We got the pan ready to put them in, and we're going to make some good country gravy after this to dip them in. So stay tuned. All right, we got all of our fingers are breaded up, and the residual amount of flour here, I'm going to actually use that to make the gravy like I told you in my biscuits and gravy video the other day. And if you let these sit just for a little bit while you're waiting for the oil to heat up, the moisture will work its way into that flour. It'll make a lot better coating. And a good trick when you're breading these things, you know how sometimes when you're breading with your hands get all sticky and start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. What you can do is use one hand for the wet ingredient, for the egg wash, and one hand in the flour. And that way you're not going back and forth and you're not getting that big club hand from breading your stuff. You're still going to get a little bit, but not near as bad. But we're going to get these frying, and we'll come back in a little bit. And folks, you don't have to use cube steak for this recipe. You can use pretty much any kind of steak. Make sure it's more of a tender cut. And make sure you cut it across the grain. Like if you're going to use New York strip or something like that, cut it across the grain so when you bite it, it'll come apart for you real nicely. Now we are cooking with oil. When you're frying this stuff, folks, you want to keep your oil about 350 to 375. If you can't do it just by keeping an eye on it, use an electric skillet. Electric skillets have thermostats on them. Just set them on 350 and it'll maintain that temperature and you won't even have to worry about it. I don't use it all the time because I've been frying stuff since I was tall enough to look in the pan. Alright folks, our steak fingers are all fried up. They look really good. And I do regret to inform you that one of these steak fingers did not make it through the process. It was sadly taken by a kitchen predator early in its life. But I said a few nice words for it, and we're just going to move on. So the drippings, I've drained off all of about a quarter cup of the drippings. Remember to do that into a coffee cup because you don't have to worry about it shattering. And we're going to use our leftover breading flour, and we're going to use about a quarter cup of that. Remember the quarter cup to quarter cup. And I'll put that in a skillet and I'll get it up to heat and I'll show you what the consistency looks like when it's just about ready. Alright, that's kind of what you're looking for right there. You look at that deep rich color that it's got because of all those cool little brown bits on the bottom of that pan. And don't worry if all them little brown bits don't come up right away. As soon as you pour that cold milk in there, it's going to come right up. And that's what we're going to do right now. Pour it all in at once. Like that. And because of that seasoned flour already had seasoning in it, I'm not going to add anything else except for a little bit of pepper. But not a lot because there's a little bit of pepper in that. And we'll stir that together and we'll come back when it's ready. Remember, that's 2 cups of milk for the quarter cup and quarter cup of flour and fat. I like to keep cans of milk in the cupboard just in case I don't have milk on hand if somebody drinks it all. And those little cans of evaporated milk, they're not quite 2 cups, but if you fill it with water up to their 2 cup line, once you pour that in there, that brings the evaporated milk just about back to the regular milk consistency. Alright, she's bubbling. Remember, when it comes up to a bubble, that's as thick as it's going to get. It will thicken as it cools off quite a bit. But she's ready to go. Beautiful looking country gravy there. That's amazing. let's have a taste. All right, folks, looky there. That's the Breakfast of Champions right there. And guys, if you're lucky enough to be able to cook breakfast for a lady friend of yours, she's going to think you're the breakfast wizard after you whip something like this out. Let's give it a try. Oh, man. That gravy is just phenomenal. Oh, and just as a side note, if you use that flour that you use to bread in, you're going to get a few little lumps in your gravy, but that is not a big deal. It's still going to be finger licking good. So give that a shot. If you try this recipe, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of it. Take a picture. Let me show you what you did, or show me what you did. How is it, Kelly? Yummy. Good deal. Well, I can't get her on camera because she's still in her comfy clothes. It's a Saturday, you know. She works hard all week long. So, till next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless you.